Sabrina, thanks for the doing this. A couple things to follow up on. You said that in total there have been 56 service members injured during the strikes,
Yep.
and that's quite a lot more than the 46 we were told on Monday, and that's more than just the three more that you announced today. So when did those additional injuries occur, and how many of those were after the October 26th strikes?
Hey, so Laura, appreciate the question. So again, we've been very clear from the beginning that these numbers are going to continue to grow, or can potentially continue to grow as our service members do return to work and then a few days later experience symptoms and then self-report in. In terms of when the actual injuries occurred, most of them occurred before the October 26th self-defense strike that we took. I think most of the injuries actually, I don't want to give a percentage, but a majority of the injuries are from those initial two attacks on October 17th and October 18th. Sorry, not two, initial 2 days, I should say. There were 3 injuries that were reported last night, in the last 24 hours. Again, all of our service members have returned to duty, including the ones that went to launch school. So I just want to emphasize that we will see this number fluctuate. That is not something new. We've been, very clear when we do get more numbers in of service members who self-report any symptoms, that we would, continue to update you. So that's the latest update that I have.
And just to clarify, though, are any of those are those 3 the only ones that occurred after the 26th, or were there more that occurred after the 26th? And then I have a separate question.
That's, as of right now, Laura, that's what I'm tracking, that the 3 that the initial tranche of injuries were all before the 26th, and these 3 that I just read out at the top came in the last 24 hours.
Okay, and then separately,
And you had another question?
Yes,
Sure.
yes, we heard yesterday from defense officials that that the Houthi rebels had shot down a U.S. MQ-9. Can you confirm on the record that that occurred, and what is the assessment of whether that is what the damage is there in terms of how much money that cost?
Well, I don't have a cost estimate for you, but yes, I can confirm that the Houthis did shoot down one of our MQ-9s just off the coast of Yemen yesterday. And I'm sorry, did you have a question on that I missed?
Nope, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next question will go to Jeff Schogel, Task and Purpose.
Thanks. Thank you very much. There's video that purportedly shows a fire at a base near Erbil that hosts U.S. troops. Can you talk about these most recent attacks? Did they cause any significant damage, or like something that would cause a fire at any military installations? And can you also confirm there have been 4 more attacks against U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria since last night's airstrike?
Thanks, Jeff. I can confirm that there have been the 4 additional attacks since the U.S. military took our self-defense strike last night. That's correct, 1 in Iraq and 3 in Syria. In terms of, I've seen the reporting on the alleged fire at Erbil. I'm not seeing any reports of that internally here. I don't see any indications that is accurate. And again, on all the attacks that have been launched at our forces, at bases, we're not seeing, at least the most recent ones, we're not seeing any damage to infrastructure in any way.
And what is the latest number of troops with TBI? Thank you.
Sure. I believe I said that earlier, but it is 25 of our service members have been diagnosed with TBI. And then the rest are, again, non-life-threatening injuries, not serious injuries. So just want to make that very clear. Okay. Next up, we'll go to Chris Gordon, Air and Space Magazine.
Thanks, Sabrina. U.S. officials have said the airstrikes are proportional. The senior officials have also told us the militia groups are conducting these attacks on very large numbers of U.S. personnel with the intent on killing them. However, U.S. officials have also said the U.S. is trying to have minimal casualties in its airstrikes. So if the militias are trying to maximize casualties and have inflicted over 50, why is the U.S. trying to minimize casualties? If the militia groups know the U.S. wants minimal casualties and they will likely not be physically harmed, how is that a sufficient deterrent?
Yeah, thanks, Chris, for the question. So again, thankfully, none of our troops have been injured seriously, and our infrastructure at the bases that have been targeted, we have not experienced significant damages. These attacks have been, for the majority, unsuccessful. And so when we chose to hit back at the strike on the October 26th and then again last night, our attacks were, or our response was very precise. It was strategic, and it hit a weapons ammunition depot that we believe was very successful. And so we are minimizing what these groups are able to use, the capabilities that they are able to use. And we believe and we feel that these are proportionate responses. And again, we are not seeking to, we do not want to see this conflict of what's happening in Israel and with Hamas widen out to the region. We are going to continue to message both publicly and privately that, for any actor that wants to take advantage of this conflict, that they don't. And so that's why you're seeing these self-defense strikes that the United States took last night and again 2 weeks ago.
If I can just, can I just follow up quickly on that? If the U.S. is, if these strikes have destroyed material used against the U.S., but the groups are being supplied by Iran, are you destroying enough of their capabilities to degrade them, or could they just get more from Iran?
Well, again, we know that Iran continues to arm, equip, train, support, and financially support these groups. So I can't, look into the future here, but we're continuing to assess the success of these strikes and of course, the protection and safety of our troops is a priority for not only the president, but for the secretary. And so if we feel that we need to strike again at a time and place of our choosing, we absolutely will.